Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today tonight, I'm here to talk about Renew Your Vows Issue 2. It was kind of hard to actually get to this, but finally I was able to get enough everything of the issue to actually be able to cover it. So here we go. So the issue starts with Peter having a nightmare, and Peter actually is beating himself up on Eddie's death and the fact of he didn't actually save everyone. You know, the whole superhero complex. So apparently, Annie developed her powers faster than the MC2 kids. The MC2 Parker kids. Yeah, Annie, I'm not really sure. I guess she's like in elementary, so... What happened with Mayday Parker is that Mayday Parker was supposed to actually mirror what Peter was. Is that her powers actually developed as a 15-year-old. Just to show the likeness and comparison of Spider-Man to Spider-Girl. As for Benji, it turns out that for him, it's kind of a cheap little crapshoot. Just the fact of, I think Benji would have got his powers when he was 15 as well, or a little bit older. But due to Carnage actually taking care of Benji and kind of possessing him, he was able to develop his spider powers as a baby. But that was only because Carnage actually sped up the process. Well, anyway, so fearing Regrint wanting to absorb her powers too, Peter created an inhibitor wristband. He has one, she has one, and apparently she might have broke hers herself. So she actually has her dad's genius because she was actually able to break her so she's able to sleep on the ceiling. The reason why she's going to sleep on a ceiling is because it comforts her from the bad memory that haunts her. Apparently, she believes that there's a monster hiding under her bed. And that monster will later be revealed someone as... Yeah, you'll get that reveal later. So anyways, the family is walking Annie to school, and then suddenly the police drove by. And one thing you need to notice that I don't have it here is that the police, the tech that everyone uses is very, very upgraded. The police now have hover vehicles, which is very cool. And what's even funny is that we get to see, for the first time ever, Peter having to take a cab to the fight that's going on. But anyways, before we get to have the coverage of the fight, we have MJ and Annie's heart-to-heart. Which, just like Joel said from X-Men, it is kind of like the Incredibles movie. It's the fact of you have to hide your powers. Because if you don't hide your powers, people will see you're different, and Regrint will actually come to you and absorb your powers and most likely kill you. This is also just like Ultimate X-Men in a way. Just the fact of all of the X-Men, all the mutants in that series had to hide their powers, and they're actually, well, it's a little bit different, but it's kind of like the fact of if they show any of their powers, if they're scanned, if they're actually revealed to have superpowers or have powers period, the Sentinels will come and freaking take them away. Which, instead of Sentinels, it's more like, I'm not going to say the Three Stooges, but the Three Stooges. And one thing we find out now is that Annie is Annie Mae Parker. So apparently something must have happened. Some kind of diss might have happened where it's like Aunt May gets to have the second name instead of the first name. I don't know. I don't really know in this case. I have no idea what could have happened. But I will tell you one thing is that maybe because MJ's a theater buff, they might have named Annie after Orphan Annie from all those movies and CDs and musicals. So that might be where Annie's name came from. But that's just a thought. I don't really have any proof of that. So apparently from one person, they said Parker's family, their money is tight. But of course their money is tight because, well, Peter, after all these years, only thing he has is just photography. He's not even a teacher at any place. So money was tight anyways in the beginning of the marriage. So to add one more mouth to feed, you would figure, yes, money is technically tight. But anyways, so it turns out that where he went to is a match of Demolition Man versus Shocker, Rhino, and Boomerang. And we're not talking about the Demolition Man that actually Wesley Snipes was in, and it was Sylvester Stallone who actually played as Demolition Man. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this superhero guy that actually was stupid enough to show his powers. So Peter was able to get lots of photos out of this, and it turns out that Demolition Man was caught. As soon as he was caught, he was sent to Regrint. Regrint was like, his powers are not really that good. I don't give a crap about him, so we're going to cut him up and see if he has anything useful in the name of science. So in the name of science, he was killed. I guess for a minute I need to mention that S.H.I.E.L.D. is present in this universe. Well, in this little region of Battle World. So S.H.I.E.L.D. is present, but for right now, I don't think S.H.I.E.L.D. actually has like a real good use. Until chances are they'll be like, oh, Peter Parker's alive? Spider-Man's alive? Oh, well, we need to recruit him into our family. So that might be what could go on. No, anyways, I mentioned S.H.I.E.L.D. is present, so let's continue on. So, Regrint hears about a kid by the Beetle, the girl version of Beetle, of course. And it turns out that it really turns out that instead of going after Annie, it turns out there's a Power Pack Kids, which there's someone who actually said there was 5 of them, but I only count 4 names. You have Katie Power, Alex Power, Jack Power, and Julie Power. I think that's how to say it, Julie Power. So yeah, you have those 5 dealing with the Rhino, Boomerang, and the Beetle. But of course, MJ called Peter, and Peter was on his way. Peter had no choice but to actually reveal his powers, and he straight up goes to Annie's school. The cool part about this, let me just pause and say, the cool part is that he was wearing red and blue, which is, I don't know if it's unintentional or it was strictly intentional, or it's just the fact of the Power Ranger phenomenon, the Power Ranger habit. The fact of, after being a Power Ranger, you will find yourself actually wearing the same color that you were a Ranger of for a little bit of a year or so. Or you'll just find it out of the blue, you're like, oh, I'm going to dress myself. And without even thinking, the first color you put on is the color that you were in the TV show. Same thing as Peter Parker. The fact of he just needed something to throw on to do his daily job. And what he chose? Red and blue. So Peter goes to save the day and save those kids, which is a bittersweet kid pickup. Yeah, like I said previously, I would have loved to see Spider-Man just swing his kids to school or his daughter to school, you know? But this is bittersweet, so it's okay. So the 3 came to retrieve all 5 of the kids, but the kids actually were able to run away. And you had Annie, who actually saw a little bit of Peter actually fighting. And she was like, wow. So here is the crazy part of it all, is that after the 3 got beaten and they went back to Regrint, Regrint had no choice but to say, oh, so Spider-Man is still alive? Well, we need some muscle for this. And he actually has his own Sinister Six. He summons his own Sinister Six. One thing you need to know is that Vulture is more bestial than he was in the previous issue. I guess since science did advance very, very fast, I do have to admit though, if Vulture to choose become more bestial instead of man, I have no idea why he would do that. Maybe it's more effective for him to defeat the people that he needs to capture, the targets. But on the other end, it's like, I don't get why all of a sudden it's to change from green to white into black and bestial. I don't get it. Anyways, we got Hobgoblin, we got Kraven, we got Shocker, we got Dr. Ock, but he looks different. Way different. And we got Mysterio. One thing I do have to say that Sony wish they could do is actually get Kraven saying, "The hunt begins." Sadly, they could have done it due to the fact that they were planning on doing a Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 1.5, but what they could have done is just push number 2 to be number 3, get 1.5, make that number 2, and then there you go, all fixed. And you don't even have to push the original the new, I don't know what to say, but the Amazing Spider-Man 2 we got, if they could actually lessen the push on that one of Sinister Six and actually just have Amazing Spider-Man 2, this Amazing Spider-Man 1.5 actually being the one that helps the push. They pushed way too hard, and because of that, that kind of made the movie suffer. Well, anyways, we're not done yet. It turns out that the Parker family has a meeting. And I put in quotations, a meeting. So Peter wants to leave. He wants to actually get out of there and make sure that Grant is able to not get them both. But MJ said that she figures it'll do more harm than good to actually do that. And it turns out that MJ has a secret. And the secret is just something I desperately want to get now, yeah. It's because of this secret, it makes it so that I really, really want to get this series now. I really want to get this. If it comes trade paperback, I'll definitely get it. This is the reason why I want to get it, is that the black suit makes it a return. We have no idea how this black suit came to be. I'll tell you exactly what could have happened in a minute. But there's like some things I need to talk about. Number one is that this brings even more on Venom and MJ. Just the fact of, like she said, you told me to never wear that suit again. You told me to get rid of it. And she's like, I know, but we might need it for a rainy day. Annie is shocked because this is what she was talking about, the monster under her bed. She was actually having the same nightmare as Peter, but different. She actually was fearing Venom, and like Peter said, Venom is gone. He is gone. Long gone. So there's a few people who actually, there's like one person in particular who said, oh, this is a Back in Black suit. And like, for this to be the black suit, he hid it in a church, remember? So if he hid it in a church, unless she actually tailed him in this alternate universe, she wouldn't know that he actually hid it in a church. She wouldn't know. And one thing, just like I said, Annie actually has the nightmares too, but it's different. So here is exactly what I think happened with the black suit. The black suit, instead of what happened in our 616 universe, where apparently when MJ told him to get rid of it, what Peter did was actually take the black suit and hid it in the same place where, I'm kind of going on a hunch here, that this is the same church where he first got rid of the black suit. So he decided to hide it there for safekeeping, and then Back in Black happened, and that's why we found out where he put the black suit. Makes sense. In this universe, I think this is what happened. Is that he actually got rid of the black suit. He actually did. He just threw it in the trash. That's what I believe. Is that he threw it in the trash, or laundry suit or whatever. And MJ actually took it out of the trash, put it in a suitcase, zipped the suitcase up, and put it up so that she knows where it is, just in case they need it for a rainy day. Which apparently it is raining and storming out there. So that's why she got it out. So that's exactly what happened. Chances are, for a little bit, it kind of freaked her out, but she said she most likely put in the back of her mind, is this for our own good? Because someday there could be a point where they need the suit again, which it came. As for what happened to Aunt May, we're not sure right now if Aunt May actually is still alive or dead. Chances are she's dead. The reason why I say that is because in the first issue, you do have Peter, Mary, you have Peter, MJ, and Annie all together in the picture. If Aunt May was alive, you would believe that she actually is in the picture as well. But of course, someone had to take the picture. But on the other hand, a doctor could just easily take the picture of it. So I think that either A, Aunt May is just not going to be in this series, or B, she's dead. And I don't know what she did. I don't know what happened, but apparently she's been bumped to the middle name instead of her first name. Given, yes, this is not the Spider-Girl we know. I know this is the girl that was promised to them in One More Day. So at least she looks better though. She looks cuter than she did in One More Day, because that One More Day girl, she's not really that cute looking, even though lots of people are going to look at me and say, hey, that's not right. I'm just saying that technically she doesn't look the same way as she did in One More Day. And I'm glad that she doesn't, because she does not deserve to look like that. So I think that's all I got. So I'm going to web out. I'll tell you guys if I find anything else. I'm really trying to work on this lead where I actually have Spider-Man revealing himself to work or to be a part of the Avenger Tower. I'm working hard on that. So I'm going to web out. Peace.